Ailsa Paterson and I'm the costume designer for the Seagull. The director decided to set the play in 1950s Russia, so that was my starting point for the design. And because a lot of the characters in the play are practical workers from the countryside, a lot of the research of the period has focused on imagery of actual people working the land and what kind of practical clothing they wore. So there's quite an interesting contrast between the characters who come from the city, who have a sophistication to the way they dress, and the way they dress is more what audiences will think of as 1950s fashionable clothing, and then obviously very strongly contrasted with these earthy country folk who are entirely wearing practical clothing. The process is a long one, and it starts with reading the script and then meeting with the director and discussing his concept. So the basic starting point there was the setting of 1950s Russia, and then I go away and look very carefully at that period and that time and develop a range of images related to each character and where they fit in that world. And then there's a series of meetings with the director when we discuss these images and what works and doesn't work for that character. And during that process, the colour palette is developed. So we talk about the set and the lighting and how that will impact on costuming. And also a very important factor for this show was that we want everything to look very lived in and worn and used. And because the audience is seated in traverse either side of the stage and very close to the action, everything will be seen in great detail. So the detail of the costuming is extremely important as well. So once we've sort of established the basic feel of the looks for each character, I start to look at sourcing garments from the stock that the State Theatre Company has, and making sure that the colour palettes are all working together and the transitions seasonally are also working. So in this show, the first 3 acts are taking place in summer, and then there's a very clear change and shift in Act 4 into heavy winter garments.
Yeah.
So there's a nice textural difference there as well.
Yeah.
And that's where I develop the costume design drawings from, and then I start discussions with the amazing wardrobe team here at State Theatre, and we work out what might be made and what might be sourced, and that's how the process evolves.